A lot of us are wondering, am I going to get to heaven one day? How do I get there? What do I need to do? What is heaven like? Well, we can't begin to think in this human mind what it is in the divine, what it's going to smell like, what kind of food will there be. But we think about these things. What is heaven like? Am I going to get there? And you will, because I'll be there putting the good word in for all of you. Just wanted you to know that. How do we get to heaven? We hear it in the first reading today. St. Paul writing Timothy. Very simple. We're doing it. We are doing exactly what is needed for all of us to begin to think about the glory days, which is a goal, which is inspiring, which helps us to forgive ourselves when God has done the same. He writes in this first reading, I'm grateful to God, whom I worship with a clear conscience, as my ancestors did. He saved us and called us to a holy life, holy meaning complete, being the person that God has created us to be. He says, God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather of power. Power within our own being and self-control. To be motivated to please God and not the appetites. That comes from the Holy Spirit. It comes from us, not judging ourselves inappropriately. So we begin to think about, is this loving God? Is this wonderful, forgiving God really going to let me in? Despite I keep on thinking about the things that I did in the past. There is a resurrection. And God has provided it for those who believe. And when we get a little low in faith because of life itself, there in fact comes the proof of our character, our spiritual character, that we're still doing this, despite the fact that we do not understand. I have faith, but I have not the knowledge yet. In our gospel reading today, we have the Sadducees who say there's no resurrection. So they're trying to trick Jesus. They're talking about marriage. And if this woman marries 7 brothers in heaven, which is crazy, whose husband is she going to prefer? Well, Jesus is saying it's not like that in heaven. And after doing years and years of marriage counseling, there are some wives who will be glad to know that their husband is in another place. But anyway, that's the great part of our love and forgiveness. That's why we're motivated to come to Mass, to receive the power of the Eucharist, so that we can find new life, new understanding, and then we will be cooperating with God's plan. And so we wonder. I pray, I go to Mass, I try to be kind, I try to grow in God's love, I read the Bible, I do a little spiritual reading, but is that good enough? And all we need to think about is, what is my intent? What is my purpose? Am I trying to do the best that I can? And God will see that intent. And see us inspired by the fact that as human beings, limited as we are, we choose God. We choose heaven. We choose the right way to go. We choose Jesus Christ. We're on our way. We're on our way to heaven. Because our faith tells us so. Anything less than that means that we don't believe that what Jesus Christ did for us, all of his suffering, was a myth. Story told 2,000 years ago. But it must be good, and it must be right, because here we are. Have a great day.